Everybody. Here in Melbourne, Australia, we are now in the final week leading up to the winter solstice, which is the most feminine time on the whole seasonal wheel. So for the whole year, this is the deepest, darkest time. And depending on how comfortable we are with the feminine part of our soul, our psyche, we find this time of Yule or winter solstice either really, really challenging or a time of renewal. So it is basically men's period. Why? Well, because women are governed by the moon. The lunar cycle, has a direct relationship with our hormonal cycle, with our menstruation, which is why women traditionally gathered in moon lodges or in red tents at the darkest phase of the lunar cycle each month to support each other, going deep within to the soul, which is the darkness within. Okay, if we think about the ego, it's what's bright and shiny, what's out there, whereas the soul is the dark part of us. And we've been taught to fear the dark and to dismiss going within, that's not as important as achieving and being productive in the outer world. So the more that we operate out of our masculine, out of the rational mind, doing rather than being, we find it really challenging when stuff, unresolved issues come up from the emotional body, from the psyche, and they're more likely to surface during the dark times, which is new moon, the darkest lunar phase, or winter solstice, which is the darkest time on the seasonal wheel. So we've just had, new moon, which really takes the women deep. But now, this week, particularly for those in the southern hemisphere, because we're journeying the 7 days coming down to the shortest day. That's what winter solstice is. It's like there's less energy, and there's therefore less generosity of spirit, less optimism. And it's a time when we can feel like we're focusing more on what isn't working or on our fears rather than on the wonderful possibilities and what we have to be grateful for and celebrate the blessings. So, those of you who are in relationship with men, just be very, what's the word? Gracious in giving them their space, letting them retreat to the cave so that they can go through their annual death and rebirth, as men do, which is alone in the cave. Women are the opposite. We like to be midwifed through our transition. Now, I know that's a very general statement, but perhaps what I should have said is the feminine is more communal. So this is why women would traditionally come together in red tents or in moon lodges to assist each other to journey our fears so that we can transcend them. And the way that we do that is we sit in circle, and whatever needs to come up, just sitting in the vortex of a sharing circle will bring it up. And each woman acts as a mirror, a reflection of the others. So, whilst we come to circle often feeling a bit fractured, a bit discombobulated, we leave circle feeling integrated, feeling calm, centered, and grounded, because in hearing each woman's perspective on what is surfacing for us as a collective, we're able to put everything in its rightful place like a jigsaw and honor that we are the sum of all parts. And this is why, all ancient communities, every indigenous culture, our ancestors, regardless of where we hail from, all the women honored this very ancient practice for healing during the dark times. And given that we are navigating very intense global cosmic dark times in our transition from the old age of Pisces to the new age of Aquarius, there's never been a time where gathering in circle has been more needed to help us to integrate everything that's coming up to be healed and integrated. So, if you'd like to find out more about this ancient practice, you can click on the link. Um, I've got the next course starting on July 8, and I'll be doing a live workshop. And it also includes 6 months of Q&A mentoring, and there's also an option to sit with me every month for a year in an online red tent circle. So if you're interested in that, check out the link. For the guys, I'll add another link in there, which is to a video masterclass that explains why the winter solstice was the time for men to gather and do the ancient ritual of the Holy Grail. The Grail being ancient feminine mysteries, and it was a way of men wedding the feminine in themselves. So yeah, if you're interested to know more about that, I'll put the link in and you can have a watch. So thanks for listening. If you feel to share this video, be my guest, and blessings on your week. Be gentle with yourself. Know this is a time, if you are in the southern hemisphere, for being more than doing, and for really coming home to yourself and connecting with what's present and making time for your own process as a priority. So whether you feel soulfully intuited to paint to music, or to dance with your eyes closed to bring up emotion from the body, or to journal, this is a time of being soul directed, trusting that our soul knows exactly what it is that we need in order to metamorphosize from the old annual year, to compost that and rebirth ourselves ready for the next annual cycle. So blessings and thanks for watching. Ciao.